Hello and welcome back to the show. Last week we kind of welcomed you to me and Max and what we're doing here and what the course is like. This week, I'm going to get straight into it, Max. The Oscars, they were last night.
They were last night.
They were.
I'm very tired. I was up until about 3:45, I think, watching it.
Ooh,
Nightmare.
that's late.
It was late.
I didn't realise it went on that long.
It was so, it was nasty.
So when I was at dinner with my parents last night and my sister was like, oh, they've already started announcing stuff. I was like, it is 8 p.m. There is no way they've announced winners yet. I looked at it and was like, it's predictions. And she was like, but it says, I was like, no, don't bait me like that. It's predictions. So what did you actually think about kind of, firstly, this year's nominations and then who actually won?
Okay, well, for the most part, I hadn't seen most of them because so many of them either weren't out or were out for such a small amount of time that finding the time to go and see them whilst actually doing work, because I do my work, is a very difficult thing to do. But for the ones that I did see, I was really surprised by like how much horror there was.
There was a lot of it.
Nosferatu, The Substance, like that sort of stuff getting actually recognized.
Yeah, there was a lot of kind of thrillery, suspensey vibes as well with it.
Like Conclave and stuff. But that, I mean, there was so many other like independent things which I was surprised by. But also, like, the Oscars isn't that big for big budget blockbusters as well. So people seem to think that, but that's not always the case. I was surprised that Wicked did as well as it did because it doesn't seem like the type of film that would do so well in like a Academy environment.
Yeah, because when you think about the Academy and the Oscars, you think big blockbusters, Hollywood, money, everything. But then you look at it and it's like they're really snobby about what goes into it.
Exactly. Like their voting history in the past is like so like secretive, and it's like this is this one film that no one's ever seen, and it was in one like art
there's
house
very
cinema
specific run in LA
on
and
a
then
full
never
moon
showed anywhere again.
Never again.
Yeah. I got to agree though, this year how many of them? I'd seen zero. I'd literally seen none of the nominations this year.
What, for the best picture?
You must have seen any of them. I hadn't seen Wallace and Gromit. I've still not seen Wallace and Gromit.
Bro, what have you been doing with your time?
I lead a busy life, allegedly. So I was quite surprised by the Anora sweep. I wasn't, because from what I've seen, I've been keeping up with the awards season, but I wasn't expecting Anora to come in and take as many awards as it did.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's quite nice to see a film like that.
Definitely, because it's definitely different to the vibes we typically get from the films that win the Oscars.
I don't know. This is like 2 years in a row where like Best Actress has been like a sex worker. We had like Emma Stone last year with Poor Things, and then Anora this year. So I think the Academy are clearly enjoying something. But they're great films as well. I think like they're difficult films to sell, but they were. I mean, I haven't seen Anora yet. What I have seen of it, I think, is like a delight. But obviously, I've not seen so much of it. Poor Things, I loved last year, and it was a difficult sell for people because they were like, it felt gratuitous and everything. But I feel like these films are kind of breaking the mold and breaking taboos and everything, and that's nice to see.
I think a lot of the films that are very successful at the moment and winning a lot of awards are, your more independent ones, but they seem to be, there's a lot about identity going on and people kind of showing off different identities that aren't typically seen on screen. It's really interesting. They really dive deep on kind of the emotional core of people and who people are. So like The Brutalist, Anora, Poor Things.
A Real Pain as well.
Exactly. They're all very personal and very intimate stories, and I feel like that's quite a recent shift in the kind of...
I mean, even Wicked, you could argue, is a very personal story. Have you seen Wicked yet?
No.
Or is it just me?
I just said zero.
Absolutely
the last time I went to the cinema was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh my God.
When it first came out, I'm pretty sure it was the week after opening.
Bruh.
And then before that, I'm pretty sure it was Barbie. And that was like on its re-release. I know.
Not even Oppenheimer season?
No,
oh my God.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer still.
What are you doing here?
A film student, I know.
It's shocking.
Yeah. No, I think, I mean, have you got anything else to say about
it was a nice ceremony. at the very least, no one got slapped, no one got kicked, no one got punched.
Yeah, there was no major news out of it. There's not really much else to say.
I did cry a little bit like out of the gate because Ariana Grande did a cover of Over the Rainbow in a ruby slipper dress with a stiletto on the back of the dress. Like,
interesting.
Cook. They were clearly like onto something.
I was going to say, they clearly had something in mind for that one.
It was beautiful. I love it. I'm a Wizard of Oz boy at heart, so I was there for it. But no, great Oscars, lovely night.
Very quiet overall.
Yeah.
What did you think of the British coverage of it?
Terrible.
Really?
Awful. It was. It was. Listen. If you want to hire me next year, you're more than welcome to. I love films, and I'll happily big them up. No one else on the ITV coverage liked film.
Was it that bad?
They hated everything. It was so shocking. They would just be like, so they hated Wicked for one. How do you hate that film? They hated Anora. They hated Dune for best sound. They were like, well, it had so much money put into it. And I was like, yeah, but it used its money well.
I was going to say, it was... From what I know, if it's anything like the first one, and also from what I heard about it, it's a very well-constructed film. So it deserves awards like VFX and like sound design, because they're very...
It's so much better than the first one as well.
For films like that, they're both very complex when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it must be difficult for actors when there's like so much green screen and stuff involved.
Yeah, and even like the VFX for Dune as well, it's so like unnoticeable as well. I don't know how they do it, because it's like it's so intricate, but like you can't usually, like, you could look at a visual effect and be able to like notice like slight differentials in it. I can't with Dune. I believe that sandworm is there.
What, are you going to be like going to the beach and like sandwalking now?
Oh yeah, I'm like there. Like that, down West Kirby.
So, I think the other issue I've had with the Oscars this year is it feels like a lot of the films haven't been marketed very much, if that makes sense.
Well, I was like, I've been looking forward to see...
quietly released.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to see Flow, which won the best animation, for ages. It's still not out in the UK yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like, there's a few of them where I've kind of heard of it and been like, I want to see that. Obviously, I've not seen anything. We can ignore that still. And I want to see them. But then there's stuff like Conclave and The Brutalist. Even Anora, I'd never heard of that until awards season started.
They sneak in.
They were sneaking them out. So it makes me really wonder what they're doing with the marketing. Because obviously, for a film to be successful, you need to market it properly. That's just how it is. But like, I feel like I've not seen much about those films.
Well, I mean, like Emilia Perez, for one.
Everything about
never
Emilia
heard
Perez.
about that film until people started talking about it, and it had already come out, and I was like, whoa,
I feel like
who's this?
That's a discussion topic we'll dodge.
And yeah, I'm not going to go too deeply into Emilia Perez.
No need to go into that. In terms of marketing, though, we launched our social media campaign this week.
We did. In terms of decent marketing, who's better than
marketing.
us? Absolutely no one. Well,
top of the game. We claim to be anyway. So this week we started with, what did we start with? We had
social media launch.
Yeah. The first post we had was the We're Back TikTok made by Bridget. That was insanely good. It had a good vibe to it. You know, we were wanting to go for a little more playful vibe. They seemed quite serious last year with a lot of the content, from what I can tell. And it was all very kind of uniform. And while I like to keep like a brand aesthetic, I didn't want to...
Our whole thing is brand aesthetic.
Exactly. But like, I wanted to be a bit more playful with it and allow the likes of Bridget and Alex and all those that are doing the video content for us to play around with it a bit more and give a bit more to them. And that's gone really well. We had a lot of impressions on it, a fair few likes. We gained some follows. What more?
Nice.
What more could you want? I mean,
this is the big leagues now, so.
Well, yeah, it's difficult to quantify success for a social media campaign in this instance, I'd say,
right?
Because, well, yeah, because at the end of the day, we are an amateur festival. We're not professionals, you know. We've not really done this before, and so we had 1,400 views on that first video.
Hey, listen,
something like that.
You know the numbers.
I'm pretending like I don't know the numbers. I studied them. But no, that first video, it did quite a decent amount for what I thought we'd do, because obviously, in terms of content, the way the campaigns work for this festival, unlike other festivals, is we post for like a month.
Yeah.
And then we drop off for a year.
It's all very intense, like a mayfly.
Yeah. And then like we kind of intersperse it with maybe 1 or 2 posts halfway through that year and then leave it at that. Because there's no continuation of anything. So I was expecting the numbers to be a little lower, but it did quite well. And then we decided to release the teaser trailer. So it was a teaser for the trailer, because we want to
definitely what a teaser trailer is.
Yeah. It was, what are we, like Marvel? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
We're acting like it. But notoriously, when you post like a second post on your social medias, that one's meant to tank and it's more realistic in terms of your numbers. So like the first post is meant to do really well because it's your first post and they want to keep you posted and keep you going. But that second one did just as well. I think there was only 4 views difference between the two. That's quite impressive because typically how the algorithm is meant to work, as far as I understand, I'm not a professional, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I don't know computers.
It's
not for me.
The first post is meant to do really well to entice you to keep posting and keep going, and my finger snap didn't work. So the first post is meant to do really well, and it's meant to get you those numbers, and it's meant to keep you posting and keep you going. And then the second post is meant to reflect your actual numbers and what your actual reach will look like. Now, I'm no expert at all. I don't actually know how it works, but that's what I'm told, and that's what what was showing up in the research.
Yeah.
But to see them do so similarly well has been quite a shock, to be honest.
Yeah. I think we've got like a really recognizable brand image as well, which is definitely helping. Like,
I think posting such a vibrant, such a punchy kind of brand this year has really helped us. Like, that bird is incredibly graphic and it's really kind of iconic.
Big
and
ups
then
the Fiverbird.
Big up the Fiverbird. And then we have this really punchy yellow in the background. We could have used any of the colours that we have as part of our brand, but to have that yellow, it really pops it off. Yeah. And it really creates that kind of separation between the kind of deep blues that we use quite a lot of. But no, I am excited to talk about that branding. We're going to have Leo and Bridget on the show in just a bit.
Yes.
I'm very excited to see, what Leo's kind of ideation was behind all of that, because he's created everything for us.
Yeah. The whole graphic.
He did indeed.
Vibe.
Yeah, because it was a whole process.
Yes.
And this is what we came out with was, that poster that we eventually ended up with, and the kind of cinema reel effect on the animations, which looks really cool and gives it a bit more authenticity as well as a brand. And that's what you want when you're trying to promote something, is you want a kind of a brand and a press kit that you can follow. So we can all contribute our own unique voices and unique content, but people are still fitting in with that brand, which really helps us. What I will say is we haven't promoted the podcast yet as part of the social media campaign.
We haven't. No,
we kind of quietly released it onto the platforms and then left it at that. I'm hoping we can clip some funny stuff. I'd say we're quite funny. Oh. Maybe we can clip some of it.
I mean, I'm definitely funny. I don't.
Hey. But no, hopefully we're going to be able to promote that over the next couple of weeks, because now that we'll have the second episode going out, we'll have more content to pick from, and we can, market that as well. And just keep going on as many platforms as possible. Something really funny happened on Sunday, though. It really annoyed me. So we posted, I'm going to say it was a bit of a filler post, because I didn't know what to post on Sunday. I wanted to keep the consistency of the posting.
Keep the brand alive.
Keep the brand alive, because again, apparently you get, I'm going to say targeted in the algorithm for that. If you don't post consistently, your kind of reach and your exposure lowers the less you post. So it makes it really hard to be visible. So I was like, we got to throw something out. I thought it was a really funny TikTok. The sound was great. It gave us a little snippet of a Meet the Team thing, which we're releasing this week. But then
you love TikTok, your teasers.
I love my teasers. I love to tease things. And what really annoyed me was it was a TikTok template that they gave us. That was a nice little tongue twister, a TikTok template.
Oh, lovely.
It was, one of those CapCut ones where it's like, try this. And it looks like, the sound had been kind of used a lot. So we used it, we put it out, and then TikTok flagged it. They were like,
try harder.
Yeah, they were like, try harder. This is unoriginal content and it's too short and it could contain QR codes. I was like,
could.
That's great. We don't have any QR codes. And it's like, so because of that, it's not going on the For You page.
Damn.
Which has completely killed us off. Like,
Ultron's out to get you.
Yeah, we've had, I think, 130 views on it, and it's literally just us lot. But because the first 20 minutes, we got 115 views or something like that, and then it went, no, you're not allowed that on For You page
Unoriginal.
Anymore. Yeah.
Get out of my house.
Exactly. And so I submitted the appeal, and I'm pretty sure it's been rejected.
Oh.
Which has really annoyed me, but I guess a learning curve.
Unfortunate that it can't promote smaller
businesses. We're trying
things.
to use engaging content that's getting a lot of traction on the For You page, and it just hasn't worked. But
it's early doors, babe.
It is. It's early doors. Maybe we should just go back to the brand content because we've got a great press kit.
Exactly.
So we should use it really.
I think so. And I think with that, we could probably introduce our guests.
Oh, I definitely think
for this episode. So please join me in welcoming Bridget and Leo.
Come on.
Whoa, welcome to the show, guys.
Not only are they designers, we have our director for the podcast and our sound operator, sound technician, if you will.
Fantastic. Fantastic work
Welcome
you do
to the
as
show,
well.
guys. Okay,
Thank you.
so
Appreciate
the first question we ask everyone on the show, what's your top 4 films? Bridget, do you want to go first?
Letterboxd top 4?
Letterboxd top 4. What is it?
Sponsor us, please.
Okay.
Please, we are desperate.
From memory, Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Solid choice.
In the Mood for Love.
Interesting.
My Own Private Idaho. One of my fave films. And Pride and Prejudice.
Nice.
Fabulous.
Joe Wright
Good choices.
version.
Good choices.
Just
Very good.
fantastic.
Very nice.
Well, that just got me off guard. So I'll try my
I'm impressed with myself for
I was gonna
remembering those.
Off the cuff.
I'll try my best. So not in a specific order. So
That's fine.
Old Boy.
The Josh Brolin one or the
no,
original?
never the original
Thank
one.
God you said that.
All due respect to
Never.
Spike Lee, Josh Brolin, and
They're all great.
everyone.
Original's better.
Yes, but no, the original one.
Good.
I would definitely say maybe a 7.
Okay.
Brad Pitt.
Let's say this, one of The Lord of the Rings. Okay, one of them.
Shall we say
Any
Fellowship?
particular one?
We're
not going to say Fellowship,
Return
are
of
we?
the
Hang
King.
on a minute.
No, we can, but they are part of a bigger thing. So
I guess
I don't
so,
want to
yeah.
say that one.
One
better than the
9-hour
other.
film will
Yeah.
be.
Yes.
But I do prefer the extended version, so 111
Interesting.
Oh yeah, 12-hour
hours.
film. Yeah.
Okay.
And
One
for
more?
the last one more. I really like the Departed.
Interesting.
Nice.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
That's a very varied.
I like the
Thank
array
you.
of films for the top
Thank you,
fours.
thank you. But maybe if I think about it, I would have different options.
No,
but,
we like to catch people off guard and ease them into the conversation,
Sure.
Okay, so you guys were instrumental in generating the press kit for this year's brand.
Yep.
So obviously, it was the 5th edition. We had the set colours for the set strands. What came next? What did you guys because obviously we were all asked to design posters, and we all came out with very different things. So what kind of led you guys to where you ended up?
Do you want to go first?
Well, I'll try. So I really like design. I think, as you guys mentioned, that's why I dived headfirst into this. I really like to do it, and we had a few ideas, and then we just merged them, right? After we had our first options, and I went for the idea of the bird and the color. As you were saying about the yellow, the yellow was my first choice for the background because it's an easy color for you to have as a solid main color.
It pops.
Yeah.
It pops.
And you
it is
compare so many
warm.
other colours with it as well.
It is warm. We have the other colors as well, but it's easier for you. It translates a better like feeling and everything. So my initial thought was like, yeah, yellow needs to be the like the main color in this, and then I would just like work with the colors inside of the bird and everything. But it was like as I said, like a merging of things, right? We had like more than one. So Bridget, can you
well,
give some
I
insight?
mean, Leo, it was your idea that was kind of taken ahead. But yeah, mine was more, I went for a more like hand-drawn idea, which, I don't know, Lydia seemed to like it, but she said it was more for the way that it looked as a whole, like as a poster, rather than the actual design itself. But I appreciated that she still liked it,
she was nice about
even
it.
though it wasn't taken ahead. But yeah, I think what I struggled to incorporate was the 5. She was quite persistent on that, and like last year's incorporated the 4 quite well, I think.
Yeah, like into the brand image. Yeah.
But yeah, so mine, I think I gave like a few designs. They were more, like I said, like hand drawn. But yeah, I mean, I was happy to be part of the team, but I feel like Leo, you defo kind of did the bulk.
I mean,
you did the bulk of the
brought in
work.
the idea of using like the film reel and everything, and
that's true.
been used quite heavily in the video marketing and everything. So you've got a legacy there somewhere.
I'll take that. I'll take full credit for that.
Like, have like a little bit of us like on the
I think it was a good
design,
team.
you know?
I think it worked well.
The 5, it wasn't at first like in my depiction, right? So
well, we'd spoken about that, didn't we, in a class where I think we'd been looking at one of the lecterns in a lecture or something, and it had the John Moore's kind of bird logo on it. I think we both said kind of, that could be a 5.
Looks like a 5.
That could be a 5.
That could work.
So I'd done a sketch in the back of my notebook of that, and then put it on a computer. It was terrible.
I tried so hard to manipulate it on Photoshop, and it just wasn't having it.
Yeah.
I can't draw to save my life.
But we took that.
But the look,
then my bird, if you guys remember, it was on the other side, so it had nothing to do with a 5. So then I flipped it around, like and then the 5 was like a little bit more easy to
made the neck a little sharper and stuff.
We tweak it a little bit. But as I would say, it was the initial idea, then merged with your idea with the 5. There was the idea of the type of font that Bridget used. That was the main reason for the one that I changed. And now we have this wonderful logo that most people can see in our social medias and everything.
Yeah, indeed.
You know? And yes, it was like, like a group effort.
Yeah, it's like I was saying before, it's so nice to see it's nice to have a brand and something you can stick to keep all content kind of uniform and nice looking. But when you're able to keep a nice brand feel to things and also have people contribute in such a unique way, it's really nice to see. And everything's been such a team effort currently. You can see everyone's kind of individual mark on it as such.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. I think, is that all we've got time for today? I think it is.
Is it really?
It must be.
My word, we can yap for days.
I know. I think we spoke for a little too long about the Oscars, but that's beside the point. So, thank you guys for listening this week, watching, whatever you've been doing. Thank you very much for tuning in either way.
And thank you both.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for having us.
You guys are integral to this show as well, keeping it running.
If we were not in front of the cameras, we are
definitely behind the camera.
The talent only takes you so far. It's great to have the eye candy, but you need the technicians.
It's 5 minutes tops.
Exactly. So thank you guys for listening. Join us next week when we talk about the programming strands. We'll have some guests on from each of the programs to chat about the process and how arduous it was with the amount of films we had to watch. But aside from that, keep an eye out for the trailer this week, even though now that I'm saying it, this episode is coming out after the trailers. So go and look at them if you haven't already. Like and follow for more. See you guys next week.
Goodbye all.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.